This overspend. Reality is beginning to hit for shoppers who might have overextended themselves this holiday season. And in this News 8 Sunday Money Matters report, credit counselor Larry Chiang of United College Marketing Services joins us with some tips to help us beat what you call the post-holiday debt doldrums, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Your first tip, Larry, thanks for joining us, by the way, is one that I wouldn't have thought of. You talk about refinancing a car loan?
Yeah, we're in a very unprecedented time in our economic history in that interest rates have been falling and continually falling. And we're in a situation where a lot of times we hear about refinancing your mortgage, but a nice little tidbit to try to even up your cash flow or maybe help it along a little bit between $20 to $90 a month is by refinancing your car.
That's something we never think about, really.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing that you talk about is transferring debt from one credit card to another. Good idea, bad idea, because we certainly get all those solicitations in the mail urging us to do that.
Right. What you want to make sure that you do is when people do get a better offer in the mail or when they see something that is more appealing, it's okay to switch that card to a lower cost, but what they want to make sure that they do is not use all the credit card credit line that is available to them, because what happens is sometimes, let's say their credit line doubles, they switch their balance, but then the other part of their older higher interest rate card grows also because they have extra available cash to them.
And if you only make those minimum payments, it can take forever.
Right, it just grows and grows.
You never get anywhere. All right, let's hit some of these other points that you talk about also. Tracking new expenditures. Just go over some of these bullet points if you would.
Sometimes during the holiday season what happens is we spend and overly spend just on a couple gifts here and there, and what we want to try to do to try to minimize some of these new expenditures is to track exactly what we spend, so that way at the end of next month we won't be even more surprised at what is going to be where we're going to owe.
The best way to do that just with a little notebook? Or?
Right. We also give free transaction recorders away on our website, or a checkbook register where you can just record instead of every check, you just record every transaction in your Visa MasterCard.
But keep an eye on it.
Definitely.
All right. The disclosure box.
The disclosure box is a critical tool because a lot of us get credit card offers and we sometimes throw them away. Sometimes before throwing them away, we might just quickly glance at the disclosure box, and it's a box that is by law supposed to be provided in every consumer solicitation for a credit card advertisement. It's a great way to summarize what exactly you want to have on your credit card and the lower interest rates.
Flip it over, look for the fine print. Know how loan officers use scorecards.
You can save a lot of money just by knowing that loan officers don't actually go to a committee, they actually score on a point system. And the way that you know how the point system works is you first of all get your free credit report, which sometimes is free, sometimes costs $8, but nevertheless it's a very well spent money to get a free credit report, because what happens is once you get the free credit report, you know what goes into and what loan officers use as a scoring system.
And you can turn that card into your own financial tool, so to speak, right?
Exactly. Once you get your credit report and know what's on there and know how credit officers are using it to evaluate you, you can save money on the largest expense that we have in our lifetimes, or for most of us, which is interest.
Okay. The last tip, Larry, that I really like is rip up incoming solicitations.
It's very important to do because a lot of us are in the habit of ripping up our receipts for restaurants or for transactions, or remember those old carbon copies. But what people still don't do, and sometimes they forget, is they don't rip up their incoming card solicitations simply because they don't think there's a lot of personal information on there, but there is. And if people go trash digging, that's a big way that a recent wave of fraud has come about.
Okay, very good. Larry Chiang, thanks for coming in this morning, sharing some of those tips. Something to think about this time of year.